I think. I think I'm going to stream for a very long time. I can't wait for the story, really. Like this story is so good. I've been thinking about it the whole day, actually. Like thinking about the story of this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful game. Anyway, where was I? Yesterday? Let me check the flowchart again. So we are halfway, not halfway. Ah, yes. It's going to be Mansui chapter, where we are going to learn about her backstory, what has happened to her so far in the year 1628. 20%, yeah, but I really want to know what will happen. Okay, let's just go on without further ado. I'm going to load this one. It was hot, and the ground was really dry. I sat in front of my house, lost in thought, with my arms around my knees and my chin rested on them. I've been crying, my tears flowed, and my nose ran too. So she was crying, she's probably upset about something, but we don't know what she's upsetting about. I hadn't been drinking much water, so I didn't shed too many tears, even though I cried my heart out.
随時怒らないで。
There must be something happened to them, right?
あの猫を食べるのも仕方ないことなのよ。
They eat the cat. Her cat, basically. We had no choice but to cook the cat, so probably the famine's already happened, right? So 8 years ago is about the start when the famine happened. The inciting incidents is the famines, right?
死にそうだったんだから。ぐったりして泣かないし、目を閉じたまま。今日までの命だったのよ。
I mean, you eat a cat, you eat a cat. I guess which one is actually has a better... Do you really need to eat that cat? I crouched by the doorway, listening to my mom's voice coming from inside the house. Mom was talking to me, but I pretended that I didn't hear. Okay, makes sense. I mean, she's still a kid, so she doesn't understand. And she's probably upset. Her cat is getting eaten. Getting cooked and getting eaten. Because I was still mad at my mom, of course. You have someone you love, and then your mom cook it. Not someone, something you love. But cats also, you can have like some bonding with your cats, right? Or your pets. And then if someone actually kill your pets, I don't know, I don't have pets. I used to have pets. I used to have a little dog, but I would be sad if something happened to my little dog. Yeah, I was actually crying when something happened to my little dog. I don't like other people's pets though. Like, no, I don't like to be around other people's pets. My pets or no pets. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, when your pet's getting eaten, you're probably sad. I hated my mom because she just cooked my kitten. Hate is a very strong word. I guess she's upset. Like, does she hate her mom? Then again, her mom doesn't really love her as much. I wasn't expecting to start with the cook. Hi, Roy. I'm streaming early because I cannot wait to see what happened.
随時わがまま言わないの。人間が死にそうなのに、動物なんか構ってられないでしょ。
It's so sad though. So basically oh my goodness, this game really tell me to question about what I have so far. Like when I live, I normally look up, but I never look down. But when I look down, This is an example of if you are looking down.
おばばは一日に何度も気を失って、寝ていても肉が食べたいって言って。
Think about it, right? In this kind of how fortunate people are. Like we are living in a society that we can even choose actively not to eat meat. Like meat give you a very good source of vitamin, and as society, there were some people, for us, we can actually pick and we can still sustain ourselves easily, healthily, or whatever. I'm not sure whether it's healthy or not. It's debatable, and it can be healthy. It's probably more expensive than the people that actually eat everything, but we have the option to opt out and not eating meat. And this story, in this particular regions, in this particular time of the story, people are so hungry they can't even afford to eat anything, and they even carve for meat. It's
お
crazy.
ばばと猫、どっちの方が大切なの？
And you need to pick between your pets to be eaten or your grandmother to be alive.
水児、言うこと聞きなさい。熱いうちに食べるのよ。
Imagine you are eating your pets. Oh my goodness. It reminds me when I was kids, right? Maybe this is Indonesian thingy, or maybe this is Asian thingy. So, you know, when you were kids, you like to have something moving with you. So my mother buy me like a mini chicken, like a mini chick. And this mini chick has rainbow color. So we feed the mini chick, and then we give them food, we love them, and it grow older, and then it get cooked. It become a chicken wing. I don't know. I know now when I was talking about it, it sounds funny, but I'm sure when I was young, I was crying. When my chicken getting cooked and eaten.
食べないならいい。後でサイジが全部食べちゃっても残しておかないからね。
Mom keeps yapping on and on, accompanied by the sounds of my brother gobbling down the meat. He bit into a leg, teeth sinking into a piece of meat still attached to the bone, then took a big gulp of the soup. Oh, look at that. Look at the agony of the sheer agony you need to hear when your cat getting eaten. Same thing happened to me and your sister, but it was a lamb, not chicken. I think lamb has more attachment than chicken, right, Roy? I feel like it. The smell of meat soup wafted through the air, a sour tang with a bit of gamey smell. Yeah, I guess this smell made me want to puke, but it also made my stomach growl from hunger. I didn't want to smell that. I tried hard to cover my ears and also wanted to pinch my nose shut, but I couldn't do it because I only had 2 hands. So I drooped my head and pressed my entire face against my knees until it was hard for me to breathe. The gap between my knees made it difficult for me to hide myself and escape from this home I didn't want to be in.
レン君、スイジは機嫌が悪いんだ。邪魔するな。
Her father is very understanding.
そっとしといてやれ。もういい年だ。分かってくれるさ。
I heard that deep sigh from Dad. Lately, Dad has been drooping wet stalk, lacking vitality, spending his days sighing with his head hung low. It had been a long while since I last saw Dad, who used to smile constantly and provide a sense of security. Everything had changed. It was completely different from 2 years ago. It hadn't rained for a long time. Look at that. We live in a society where we don't even rely on season to get our food. Think about it, how lucky we are. We don't even need to have a fast and then eating famine season anymore. We don't have a fasting season or non-fasting season that we need to stock up. We get food all year long. The last time it rained, my brother was still very young, and mom had to carry him around all day long. I recall that day from 2 years ago when I was 8 years old when it rained heavily. There were a lot of fish in the river. I caught one and fed to the kitten. That day, Dad even bought a sweet potato bag for our family. It was the first time I'd ever had sweet potato. I hadn't seen rain since that day. Wow, so it's been a while not raining. Yeah, I guess in the past you really rely on rain, yeah? And the problem is it's not nomadic anymore because they are staying in one place. Maybe in the very old time, maybe in the, I don't know, in the year like 500 or 1500 where people are still nomadic, it's not a problem. But when people now stay in one place and they still have a not as good technology as us, it's kind of big deal. Especially when there is no rain, there is no food, you don't move. Like even animal migrate. If you see, like, for example, the great migration in Africa, for the animal, they move from the south to the north or west to the east. They move to search for food because of the season. But people, they need to actually rely on the season, but at the same time, they don't have the same technology to actually help them with this. Without rain, a lot of things change. The river becomes shallow and the fish dead. I wonder though, is it the beginning of the creations of the Gobi Desert, the desert in China? Or is it not even? No, the probably is not. It's probably just one of the drought that happened. The ground cracked and the wheat also perished. The wheat began to fade, turn yellow, and then wither away before it could even fully mature. Dad desperately wanted to revive the wheat. He grabbed his hoe, loosened the soil, and worked tirelessly from dawn till dusk. At first, he would smile and encourage us, saying everything would turn alright. So long as he worked hard, better day would come. However, the wheat continued to wither away, bits by bits. One morning, I saw my dad sitting on his knee in the wet field. Looking around, I could see that all the wheat in the entire field has withered and died. That way, wheat and fish die are quite similar. When a fish dies, it lies on dried riverbed, eyes wide open, gasping for breath slowly. Similarly, when wheat dies, it too lies on the cracked earth, swaying gently with the wind, rising and falling slowly. I snuck a glance at Dad. I saw him clutching the lifeless body of a wet stalk in his hand. He held it close to his chest, gritting his teeth, dropping his head as if he was in tears. Gradually, his grip tightened, crushing the wet in his palm, scattering it into dry wind. Dad tried his best, but nothing good came of it, leaving him shaken. He began to blame himself, regretting the reckless spending from 2 years ago when he bought that sweet potato. I mean, it doesn't matter. That reckless spending doesn't matter. It's the same when imagine I'm actually regretting I don't have money because my reckless spending on gacha 2 years ago. I was really spending recklessly on gacha, especially when the first time I taste gachas. Like not 2 years ago, I played gacha more than that. My first gacha was Honkai Impact 3rd. Yeah, let's talk about the reckless spending. I don't even want to remember about it. But it doesn't affect me. Whatever happened 2 years ago happened, and we cannot change the past. I wasn't sure if he cried or not, but I think he did.
前に食料交換に出かけた時、街で多くの空き家を見かけた。
Yeah.
みんな逃げたの？
ああ、みんな東に逃げ、泉州へ向かったらしい。
I mean, it makes sense. Like, there is no wheat. You cannot have food. You should actually migrate somewhere because you don't have the technology to allow you to survive in this kind of weather. But humans normally attach to something. It's difficult to live someplace once you leave for quite some times in that particular place.
選手？シンさんの話では政変があって知見も殺されたそうよ。
シンさんはデタラメばかりだな。土地の者に聞いたが政変などないと言っていた。それに考えてもみろ。泉州は道館に近くて周囲には多くの軍隊が駐留している。政変など起こせるものか？
I was still sitting at the doorway, watching the barren land in the distance while eavesdropping on my parents' conversation. They mentioned some town to the east like Sanzhou and Tongguan. What kind of place are Sanzhou and Tongguan? What is a rebellion?
これからどうする？家の食料も多くはないわ。計算してみたの。一家5人で毎日おかゆでも1ヶ月しか持たないわ。
Only a month. A month flies so fast. They probably all die. I don't know, I have a feeling this whole family, like all mother, father, mother, her brother, and her grandma probably dead. And it's last 8 months, 8 years already passed. I don't know, maybe something happened to the brother, and then he tried to have a revenge on the brother.
いっそ私たちも東に逃げる。
Well, should we also escape to the east?
いや、母さんは歩けないし、2人の子供もまだ小さい。連れてはいけない。それに今はみんな東に逃げて、官道や山には食料を狙う盗賊がいて危ない。
Yeah, but you can't stay in this place. You're going to die hunger. You are going to die hungry. Better try your chance.
でもこのまま食べるものがなくなったらどうするの？
Exactly.
町の質屋はまだ開いていた。明日何か質に入れて食料を手に入れてくる。
じゃあ私の腕輪を質に入れるといいわ。
それはお前のお父さんが残してくれたものだろう。やめておけ。
いいのよ。食料は値上がりするばかり。早く買っておかないと。薬剤が過ぎ去ったらまた買い戻せばいい。
しかし
Mom and Dad were still discussing about exchanging food. I heard Mom was going to pawn her bracelet. That bracelet looked quite lovely. It was part of the dowry left to Mom by the family. Who texts me when I'm actually... The kitten was eaten because we needed to eat. Mom was going to pawn her bracelet so we wouldn't starve. Perhaps I should forgive Mom. Suddenly I heard my grandma coughing. Grandma was awake. She was sick for quite a few days and even passed out because of it. We were too worried about her and she was finally awake.
母さん。
Dad and Mom quickly gathered around grandmother and she woke up.
さっき私に汁物を飲ませてくれたのかい？
ええ、私が少し飲ませてあげたんです。
何の汁かね？ひどく酸っぱかったけど。
Even the soup is so pungent. I mean, it's a cat meat. It's probably a dead cat meat.
病肉の汁物ですよ。
ああ、道理で。
まだあります。飲みますか？
Oh.
いや、猫の匂いは好きじゃない。
Oh my goodness, Grandma, you still very picky? Imagine people already kill a cat because of you and you are still so picky about it. Jeez, this grandma doesn't even know how to actually grateful about the food.
それに、私はもうすぐあの世へ。私はいいから、あなたたちが飲みなさい。
But this is interesting though. Do people actually know when they are going to die? Like for example, I'm going to kick the bucket any minutes now. So when we get older, do we know when we are about to die? Like a few minutes before? Like we have a feeling, oh, I'm going to die in a few minutes from now on.
そんな縁起でもないことを。昨日より顔色が良くなってますよ。
自分の体は自分が一番よくわかってる。さっきね、鬼門関でゴズ場面に会ってきたの。 私に鎖をかけようとしたけど、さっとかわしてすり抜けて。
See, if we actually hear the people who actually about to die talking about this, it feels like there is something beyond our world, right? But at the same time, we can actually justify whether this is actually just their illusion playing to the brain illusion playing tricks on them, or it's actually real. There is a world beyond our world.
連れて行かれる前に、あなたたちに言っておくことがあるから。突然の災いだったけど、早くから予兆があった気もする。数年前にあなたのお父さんが亡くなった時、私は悪夢を見た。今と同じ光景だったわ。私が死んだら必ず水を探して蛇を探し、そのそばに井戸を掘るの。
After I pass,
井
you
戸
must
があ
find
れ
water,
ば村人は生きていける。
find a snake and dig a well beside it.
裏庭のあのお宝は食べてはいけない。
Do not
売
eat
っても
or
いけ
sell
ない。
the treasure in our backyard.
神が宿っているから
This is
怒ら
so
せて
ominous.
はいけ
You
ない。
know, I have a feeling that they will actually eat and sell the treasure in the backyard. And something bad happened to them. Even though the bad thing happened to them is just a coincidence, it's not because they sell the treasure in their backyard, but I have a feeling they will actually sell this treasure, and then it seems like because of they sell this treasure, something happened to them.
ああ、財児に会いたい。財児はどこ？
おばば、ここだよ。
財児はいい子ね。
Grandma called to my brother once, and my brother ran over to her side. I mean, she doesn't care about right? I mean, from the last time, it seems like she doesn't care about the female one. Exactly, Grandma tended to be more affectionate toward my younger brother than toward me. Whenever something happens, she would usually call for him first. She would often forget about me. Yeah.
炊事は？
Oh. However, I was caught off guard. This is like the start of a horror movie. Exactly, Roy. This time I didn't take long for her to call my name. I stood at the same spot. Hearing Grandma calling my name, I wasn't sure, but I was getting a bit nervous. I wasn't sure how I should face her. Not long ago, I got mad at Grandma because Mom said Grandma wanted to have some meat, which led to the kitten being cooked. But now, for some unknown reason, I'm not really mad at her anymore. Obviously, she's going to die. Why would you mad someone that is already going to die?
炊事、おいで。
Mom called out to me. I didn't hold a grudges anymore. Instead, I obediently sat by Grandma's bedside with my younger
おば
brother.
ば、私よ。
Oh, Baba. I gently called out to Grandma before sitting down and looking at her. Grandma was lying on the bed. Her breathing was weak but steady. I thought she would look pale since her body was weak. However, her face was actually a bit red at the moment. The wrinkle on her forehead smoothed out, and a smile graced her lips, giving her a gentle and kind appearance. In my recollection, Grandma was always fond of arguments, to the extent that one might even say she enjoyed stirring up trouble for no reason. Whenever someone in the family did something slightly wrong, she would follow them around nagging for half the day. But now, she's different from the before, appearing so gentle and kind. It felt somewhat unfamiliar. I could hardly recognize this version of Grandma anymore. Yeah, this version of Grandma is about to die. That's why she became very kind. Because she knows she doesn't have she doesn't have any time to repent herself, so she needs to be kind, otherwise she probably goes to hell. And she knows the fact she will go to hell. So that's why, oh my god, so bad. She's dying and I was talking like this. I should be kind, right? I should be kind and understanding, but I don't know. Do people get when they are about to die? does people actually get kinder? Because they know I'm going to die anyway, so let's do something very kind.
在時水時おいで。
母さん、そんな体じゃ。
休まない方が元気みたい。子供たちにたくさん話があるの。あなたたちは自分のことをすればいい。ほっといて。
Grandma grabs her breath as she scolds Dad for attempting to get her to rest. In that moment, she bore a striking resemblance to the grandma I knew so well.
在時極卒期の物語を聞いたことある？
No, what about the Helmet?
ない。
じゃあ東洋の物語は？
The Swine Demon! This is the story that we told to our MC, Liang. Also, the Swine Demon is actually taking her grandmother. It's not her sister, it's her grandmother. Wait, but it doesn't make sense, right? So she was still lying technically. It's not her sister, it's her grandmother. But her grandmother doesn't really get eaten by a swine demon. Her grandmother just died.
それもない。
はあ、どうやら前に水時に話したことをあなたには話してな
I
いみ
always
た
hear
い
about
ね。
people trying to be better when they're near death. Ah, okay. So it's true. Because they don't have any chance to be kind. That's why they become better person.
じゃあ東洋の物語から話しましょう。数百年前、賀州付近の火山に一頭の東洋が住んでいた。千年の修行を積み、女の子を好んで食らった。4人の女の子が捕まった。その中の勇敢な子が
This is her
刀を隠
story.
し持ち、
This is her
その
story.
東洋を殺そうとした。
See, 4 kids were captured. So we have 4 kids. And then there was one brave kid who hid a knife and was going to kill the swine demon. That's Mansui. Ah, so this is our story. Maybe she got inspiration because there are 4 kids. And then that's why she hid the knife. And maybe she's actually scared. That's why she tried to kill us. She was trying to kill us on the first place because she was scared about the swine demon. And then she would like to run away. Maybe. And then because she was too scared, even though she wanted to kill the swine demon on the first place, but she did something terrible. Maybe that was the case. We don't know. Maybe. And that's why she made up a story about sister thingy. I don't know. Maybe she's just nervous. The sun went down as she went on and on. The sunlight in the room grew dimmer and dimmer, and as did the light in the grandma's eyes. When the night came, grandma's voice increasingly faint. Each word seems to be struggles, with her trying hard to breathe while speaking through her clenched teeth. Eventually, she stopped before finishing the story. I thought she fell asleep at first, but I didn't hear her breathing. Dad came over and touched Grandma's wrist, then stood there absent-minded without saying a word. I also touched Grandma's wrist. It was icy and cold. After that, Mom and Dad gathered around Grandma's and cried. Mom's brother started crying after seeing them in tears. The room echoed with sounds of weeping. I was stunned and stood still as I glanced at everyone. I felt as if my heart was being gouged out with a knife, but I didn't cry. Earlier today, I had already cried all my tears for the kitten. By the time midnight came, there were none left for my grandma. Bathhouse. This is the... Okay, we are going to a bathhouse. Will something bad happen in the bathhouse or nothing? Leaving Suigo village is a 3-day journey from Wenxiang. Each day we walk a bit, munch on ration at dusk, and drank water. Nothing out of the ordinary happened along the way. If anything stood out, it was how the lamb started getting along better. One time, with Tang snoring away, I feigned sleep. The lambs took the opportunity to exchange a few
お
whispers.
姉ちゃん、喋れたんだね。うん、喋れるよ。
Okay, they become friends.
お姉ちゃんはどうして喋れないふりをするの？その方が便利だから。みんな警戒しないでしょ。でも、皇様や両様にバレたらどうするの？みんなが言わなければバレないよ。言わないでね。言わない。絶対に言わないよ。お姉ちゃん、昨日は食料を分けてくれてありがとう。うんうん。たくさん食べて大きくなってね。
She seems to be a good person though. She doesn't seem to be a bad person. But I still cannot trust her fully. There must be something she hides from us. Like, you know, the hunch, the gut feeling that you feel like this girl seems to be the nice person, but not really nice. There must be a hidden motive behind it and we don't know yet.
そういえば、どうして私をお姉ちゃんって呼ぶの？なんでみんなより年上だと思うの？わかんない。背は私と同じだけど、なんだか大人っぽい。
Exactly. You even have the strength to actually kill, wanting to kill and break free.
それに、名前を知らねえから、お姉ちゃんって呼ぶしかない。はあ、私って大人っぽく見えるのか。
She's not Otonapoku. She's not Seymour Grora. She is older than them. We already know her mother and then we see the year and then we know how old she is. Like the other are around 9, she's around 14. So she's basically no, Roy, this is not too paranoid, Roy. I have a feeling that she's not really kind. I don't know. I can't really tell. I don't know.
そうだ。お姉ちゃんの名前は何ですか？水地は水地、浩二は浩二。
Okay, what's her name?
私の名前は水。水姉さんって呼んでいいよ。
Her name is Mansui, right? But why does she tell her only Sui? Normally, like the other, you have like Xinghua. You say Xinghua, but then she just say her name is Sui without the family name. Must be something about her family name, no? Maybe her family name is the one that killed whatever. I don't know. This is so weird. I'm so paranoid now.
でも、これだけは覚えてて。皇様の前で私と話さないこと。わかりました。
Mansui whispered to the lambs, serious like. I peeked, trying to hear. She told them a different name than the one she told me. Exactly. She told them a different name than the one she told me. Oh my god. Definitely. I cannot trust Mansui now. No, there must be something. I heard Mansui, but they just heard Sui. What's her real name? She's hiding it from me too? Exactly! This is how I feel! The other people introduced with their full name, but for some reason, this girl just changed, like doesn't even share her family name, where the other actually know the family name. I cannot trust her. Cannot trust her. For 3 days, I had been thinking about these lambs, wondering where they were from, what they had been through. Keep me going, stop me for feeling too hungry. We agree, 1 meal a day. Not much for them, definitely not enough for me. With just the afternoon meal, come midnight, my belly started growling. Felt like there was a storm brewing inside. By dawn, maybe I'd start enough because hunger faded away. At noon, with the sun blazing overhead, the water in my belly turned into fire, making me parched and dizzy. I felt like I had lost a part of myself. My step heavier than when I was full. Thankfully, these days, like the day like this, didn't last. 3 days later, we crossed the main road and reached Wengxiang. Tong was right. Yinsang indeed have an inn in Wengxiang. After we arrived, we asked around and quickly found the eastern part of the town. It looked a lot like the one in Huangzhou with a similar size and decoration, just some minor differences in how the tables and chairs were arranged. Tang went inside to talk to the inn waiter. The lambs and I waited in the lobby, catching a bits of their conversation from a distance.
旦那、どちら様でインさん様のお知り合いですか？
そうだ、インさんの仲間さ。品物の運搬を頼まれた。
ああ、インさん様の仕事なら存じております。2ヶ月前にもお世話させていただきました。
お世話した？そいつらも洛陽へ行ったのか？
Wait, so they are delivering something like this 2 months back. So this is a recurring occasion. Another delivery. Oh my goodness. Maybe it's true they're delivering to be eaten. Like this swine demon actually exists. And Mansu is actually telling us the truth. It's crazy. But how can Mansu actually do the revenge? She cannot do anything by herself.
ええ、みんなあそこへ届けるんです。同じく子羊を。
そんなことより何日も歩いたからここで1日休んで補給を済ませたい。
かしこまりました。どうぞゆっくり休んでください。インさん様の依頼ならお代はいただきません。
Exactly right.
何かご希望の商品がありましたら
we are also
ど
dead.
ちらでご購入いただけるかご案内いたします。
So maybe this four, so us and the lambs are going to get eaten? Oh my god. And think about it, right? So when he said like this, right? Had one like that 2 months back. Another delivery? And this delivery is not the same person do delivery. So what happened to the one that delivered the child trafficking? Do they get killed? Did they get killed? And then this is very strange. Got rest here for a day, no charge for Master Yin Sang job. If you need anything, I'll lead you to where you get. So basically, you got everything for free. Nothing in the world is for free, especially in the year of the famine like this. We are going to get killed by the swine demon, all of us.
ああ、わかった。一つ教えてくれないか。
Yeah.
何でしょう？
リキは町にいるか？今どこにいる？
リキ。ああ、リノ旦那。今日は投資の酒場へ行きました。後でご案内しましょう。
いや、その酒場なら知ってる。前に連れて行ってもらった。
Tang and the waiter were nearly done talking. They whispered a bit more, then Tang came out to the back room and joined us in the
り
main
ょ
hall.
う、俺は後で市場へ買い出しに行く。ついでに友人と会うつもりだ。
So I'm going to head to the market to get some supplies and meet a friend. We can still
当
buy.
たり前だ。何しろ大きな町だ。あるにはあるが、値上がりがひどいらしい。ちくしょう。
What should I do while you are out shopping?
子羊どもの見張りだ。店の小僧に伝えておいたから、子羊どもを連れて風呂に入るんだ。
You are not washing up before you
俺？
go out?
必要ない。今夜は宿には泊まらず、力が手配してくれたところに泊まる。ついでに風呂にも入る。
So he will stay in Leaky place. Okay. So he's not staying with
美
us.
人が揃っていて、子羊どもよりよっぽどいい。お前もそっちに興味があれば連れて行ってやるんだが
Should I
な。
trust Tang? He's going alone without us. He looks really bad. Tang winked and gave my shoulder a tap as he walked. After seeing his expression, I recall who Li Gi was. I met him once. He's like Yin San in Wenxian doing similar work, but he mostly sold women's, not lamb. He often tricked respectable women from far-off places into brothel and dressed up girls from brothel to sell them elsewhere as servants. That's the sort of business he was always in, so he's not a good person. He ran a tavern in Wenxiang full of courtesans. Tang went to find him to stay in the night too. I reckon he was up for a chat and some fun. I was not much into this stuff. Better keep an eye on the lamps so they don't wander off.
寮の旦那、お風呂の湯の用意ができました。どうぞこちらへ。
After Tangs left, the waiter took us to the inn bathhouse in the back hall. It was a big bathhouse, about 3 times as large as the inn lobby. There was a big pool in the middle and a large wooden tub next to it. Wooden buckets sat by the pool and tub filled with hot water, while steam rose from the water floating in the air like tiny clouds. The waiter then left, leaving only me and the lamps into the bathhouse. I'll untie your rope so you can take all bath. I'll use the big pool over there and you can use the wooden tub. After washing, we'll rinse our clothes in the nearby streams and let them dry tomorrow. As I talked to them about washing up and changing clothes, I untied the ropes around their waists.
りょう様、聞きたいことがあります。
Yes? What is it?
一緒にお風呂に入るってことですか？
Yeah, you are still a kid. You are like 9. Yeah, you are all going to bath together.
そうじゃなくて、りょう様と一緒にですか？
Not together. I'll bath in the pool and you are in the tub.
一緒に洗うのですか？この浴場で。りょう様、みんながこの浴場でりょう様が裸になって、私たちも裸になってお風呂に入るんですか？
Yes. Yes, I mean, they're just the kid. You are just a kid. I'm a grown adult. I mean, I don't give a shit about your age. So just take...
申し訳ございません。りょう様、私の考えすぎかもしれないですが。
Does girls at 9 years old already thinking about this kind of thing? They don't want to bath with an older man? Maybe it's a good thing, yeah?
でも、男と女の親密な接触はあってはならないです。両親が、女の子の体は、夫にしか見せられないって言いました。
I mean, maybe there is an option whether we let them bath together and then we bath alone. I think I will just pick bath alone. But remember a few days ago when you need to go, I was there too.
違う。草むらがあったから、両様には見えなかった。それに、両親が言ってた。女は7歳になったら、男とお風呂に入ってはいけないと。その掟を破ったら、結婚できません。
What is the rule breaking it? We no one will want to marry you. Okay, that's her parents basically telling lies, exaggerated lies. I stay quiet as Xinhua finished talking. Xionghua finished talking, not saying anything. Seeing me silent, she kept quiet too, not daring to speak. She kept her head down. I mean, they marry them off as teens, so makes sense she consent. Okay. Okay, you were right, Roy. She kept her head down, maybe because she was shy or scared and didn't look at me. She stood up for her belief, not wanting to bath in the same room with me. At first I felt awkward, but thinking about it, it made sense. I thought the other lambs were just kids, too young. Men and women shouldn't be too close. But for some, turning 7 means clear distinction between gender, while the other lambs come from civil families and didn't care much about customs. For her, raised in a strict home, it was a big deal. I've heard stories of well-grown women shamed and driven to extremes over their honor. While I was not see gender divisions as significant, she might. I nodded along with Xinghua's idea, but I wasn't sure if I should go along with him. The lamb were like goods to me, commodities, be bought and sold. If I agree now, would they push back later? Maybe bathing together would remind them of their place as a good, but I wasn't only one of those traffickers. Should I really go that far?
だったら、Kかコウジ、スイジが先に入って、私とリョウ様が後から入ればいいんです。
Just when everything fell stuck, Mansui suddenly burst out something. She had been quiet as a mouse. What she said caught me off guard. What's this rascal up to?
スイ姉さん、どうして喋ったの？リョウ様の前で喋っちゃダメ。スイ姉さん。
Suier was surprised because Sui spoke in front of me, while Hong Er and Xianghua stared at Sui in shock, unsure whether to be alarmed by her sudden speech or her suggestion to bath with me.
大丈夫。りょう様は知ってるから心配ない。
Mansui looked up at me and gave a little
み
smile.
んな先に入って。私とりょう様が後から入るから。
Seems like the
男
right.
女の礼節を厳しくしつけられた刑事は、りょう様と一緒に入浴することができないから、一人で入るよりは三人一緒の方がいい。
Why does he want to... Well, that doesn't make sense. Why does he want to bath with us? Like, for example, why is her suggestion is suddenly you girls wash first, then me and Master Liang will follow? Seems like the right order. Why don't she just... Why does he want to bath with us? It doesn't make sense. Oh my god, Roy. What if Manchu want to bath with us because he want to kill us? Oh my god. What if she actually still wanting to kill us? Maybe there is something with us. Something happened in the past. That's why she insisted the other three girls go first and then leave the Master Liang and me alone. Save, save,
そう
save,
すれば
save, save,
りょう様も
save,
寂し
save,
くないし
save, save, save,
りょう
save,
さんが女の子
save,
とお風呂に入るのが好きなら、私が一緒に。
No, I don't trust her. It's not Master Liang might feel lonely. Are you going to kill me? Mansu glanced at the other lamps, then at me. She seemed unsure, maybe a little bit upset. The paranoia is coming back, but this time I'm feeling it too. Exactly like Roy! Oh my god! The other lamps looked at Mansui with pity, then back at me. Their looks made me uneasy, like they thought I was some sort of old beau. Brad, don't go spouting nonsense. When did I say I like having guns around when I'm bathing? I said we should all wash together to save the time and money of reheating the water. Forget it. What's the point of talking to you? You all wash up, and when you are done, I was alone. I was annoyed by this Brad staring at me, so I blurted something out and stormed out of the
りょう
room.
様、ありがとうございます。
Okay, so we don't... Okay, we are safe. We are safe. She didn't kill us. Okay, she's not going to kill us. Thank you, Master Liang. I heard the lamps talk thanking me as I left. I exit the bathroom and shut the door behind me. I stay outside while the lamp bathed within. Even with the door between us, I could still catch snippets of their chatter.
暑い。本当に暑いわ。もう少し冷やしてから入ってみるか。風呂の方は暑くないよ。こっちに入ろう。水姉さん、りょう様が後で入るんだから。りょう様がそう言った？うん、そう言ったの覚えてる。俺は風呂、お前らは木桶に入る。そうそう。ね、水姉さんやめた方が。どうして風呂に入ったのですか？大丈夫。私たちもこっちに入ろう。心配ないから。4人で木桶は狭すぎるから、風呂に入らないと。終わったら、新しいお湯を入れておけばいい。ああ、そうね。水姉さんは、お湯を入れたことがありますか？こうして。あ、いきなりお湯が。できた。
We are not shown. They are actually naked in the bathroom. You can imagine, you can think about those kids trying to take a shower or a bath, or you can just don't think about it, okay? I know when you listen to what they say, you can't help but thinking of those 4 kids and then having some of the scene actually play out in your head. I heard them talking about whether to use the pool or not. Eventually they decide to go for it and led by Mansu. Alright, let them do as they please. As long as they can change the water for me later, it's all good.
気持ちいい。お家みたいにひれ。お姉ちゃん、うんちしたい。我慢しなさい。ここでしたら叩く。我慢する。お お姉ちゃん、頭を洗いたい。ずっと頭がかゆいの。おいで、洗ってやる。頭を湯桶に入れるの？待って、動かないで。湯桶にお湯を入れるから。
Oh my goodness, they are so cute
お姉ちゃん
together.
やめて、お湯が耳に入っちゃう。水姉さんはどこの人なの？私？家は洛陽にある。洛陽？別に、ただの大きな町。甲州。両親とも甲州人よ。甲州、知ってる。綺麗なところ。白状氏と巨泉は甲州にある聖湖で出会い、私も白状城の物語は聞いたことがあります。
Oh, I know!
で
The
も、
Lady White Snake
実
is
は
very
甲
famous.
州のことはよくわからないです。
Yeah, this is actually quite famous Chinese story as well. Chinese mythology story, the white snake. The white snake and green snake. I remember, is it? I remember when I was kid, there was a movie like around the same with Sun Wukong. There is also Lady White Snakes as
生
well.
まれてすぐに父が甲州から京城に配属されて一家で京城に住んでたから。京城。へえ、京城の皇宮は綺麗だと聞いた。黄金の瑠璃瓦が輝いて皇帝が皇宮で暮らしてる。私はないけど父はある。皇帝ってどんな人？若くて竜みたいに威厳があるってお父さんが言ってた。皇帝に会ったことはないけど、円おじさんには会ったことがありました。円おじさん？うん。円おじさんって円徳氏のことです。知らない。私が知ってるのは、京城に皇帝がいて、皇帝が天下の民を支配してることだけ。
I was actually brushing off all these conversations. I wonder, will this conversation actually have something to do with anything? Like, will this become very important? I don't know.
工事と水事も知らないですか？知らねえ。じゃあ、この話はやめましょう。私も
Who is
円
Uncle
おじさん
Yuan?
のことはよく
Will
知らない
Uncle
し、
Yuan become a major player later on?
円おじさんは後に罪を犯して、自分が死んだだけじゃ
Or
なく、
he's already dead?
私の家族まで。慶花は皇様たちにさらわれたって聞いたけど。うん。1年前、兵士が家族を辺境に送る途中で、私は体を縛られ、口を塞がれました。逃げようとしなかったの？逃げる勇気もありませんでした。インさん様は逃げたら捕まえて殺すと言って、子供の骨も見せられた。
Oh my goodness, Yin San is very bad. See, Master Yin San said if I escaped and got caught, I'd beaten to death. Shows me some bones of the children too.
それに、両親にはとっくに捨てられました。私のことなんか。インさんがあなたにそう言ったの？じゃあ信じちゃダメ。怖がってもダメ。慶花の両親はまだ慶花を見つけたいと思っているはず。
I heard Mansui and Xinhua talking a lot. Keika. Xinhua is Keikara in Japan. Like if you've heard when they're talking in Japanese, they seems to be talking about things they shouldn't. Their voice got quieter afterwards, almost too quiet to hear. They probably realized I might be listening from outside the bathhouse, whispering secrets. Could those two lambs be planning to escape? That won't work. Hey, quit chatting and bath. I'll give you one more sticks of incense time. If you're not done by them, I'm coming in.
両様、入ってこないでください。
Why
ま
not?
だ終わってないです。まだ洗濯もあるし、線香一本じゃ足りないです。あ、両様、一つ聞きたいことがあります。
Yes, what's up?
洗濯しちゃったら着替えはどうするの？ここには着替えがないです。
I heard the rascal chatting in the bathhouse. Seems like it's true. I only told them to wash and dry clothes, but didn't give them any change into it. Without clothes to change into, they can't hang out the wash one to dry and won't have anything to wear after bathing. Should I let them ask the inn waiter themselves? Didn't seems right. Well, I'll go find
両様、
some.
ありがとうございます。
Such a hassle.
両様、ハケを持ってきてくれませんか？ 足を洗いたいです。
Clean what? So much
た
to
く
do.
さん歩いていたから足もひどく汚れました。きれいにしないと歩けないです。
Wait, they boss us around now! Such a hassle.
りょうさま、水樹はもう我慢の限界だ。尿瓶を持ってきてくれませんか？
You bold to ask me what to slap.
お願いです。水樹が風呂でしちゃったら、あとりょうさま、水樹を助けてあげてください。
Such a... Oh my god, we are actually fetching stuff for them. The lad had fetched quite a few things for them. Some clothes with the brass chamber pot. I made a few trips each time bringing this item. Doors give a light knock. Soon enough, a tin arm would reach, thanking me quietly as took what he asked for. I leaned on the bathhouse door, hearing the giggles of the slums inside. Damn it, it wasn't right. I was supposed to be escorting this lamb. They were the cargo I was supposed to deliver. But now they were giving me the runaround. When I first met these lambs, they were all trembling, afraid to even breathe loud around me. Now they went bathing first, and I was fetching things for them, treating me like some kind of servants. Hold up, why did I even agree to let them bath on their own, and why I was standing guard at the door for them? When did they get so bold? I started thinking hard, and then I remembered that look of hers, Mansui's face all sad and pitiful. It's her. The little brat set me up. I fell for her egg and stormed out. But really, am I overacting? They were just cargo for me to deliver. Why can't I ask them to keep me company like a master would? Bro, become a nanny, exactly. Being treated like some kind of servant by them was just too much. I can't take it. Stop batting, get out now! I left the bathroom and slammed it out, shocking the lamb jokes and laughter removed.
りょうさま待って。
Wait, I'll count to 10. If anyone's still, I'll dunk them into the water.
今すぐりょうさまやめてください。
水樹、早く気が。
お姉ちゃんまた
我慢して。
After I counted to 10, the lambs came out of the bathhouse wearing in clothes. They looked clean and fresh, no more smell. I hurried down so their hair was still wet, sticking to their face with little drops of their eyelashes. They fixed their hair while walking, leaving wet footprints on the wooden floor. The clothes were too big for them, making it hard to walk. But they give them back tomorrow, so it didn't matter anyway. I led the lamb upstairs and locked them in a room. After that, I wanted to take a bath and change clothes. But in the meantime, I need to do something important. Later you joining me for a bath. I grabbed Mansui's arm, dragging her along. Why? Why do you want her to join you for a bath? What the fuck? Why? Why you later join? What if Mansui kill us? What the hell? Not just because I didn't trust her being alone with other lambs, feared she might stir up troubles or plots, but also because I figured she'd been playing games with my head earlier, treating me like her servants, and I wanted to teach her a
りょう
lesson.
様、私先ほど入りました。
It's my turn now. You go fetch wood, boil water, change water, do laundry. That will make you sweat. After that, we'll hit the bath again.
全部私一人でやるのでしょうか。りょう様は本気で私と一緒に入浴してほしいのですか？
Yep, all your job, and I do want you to bath with me. I glanced at Mansui, smirked, and reminded her of my
わか
order.
りました。
Seeing how determined I was, she stopped begging and quietly went along with me, head down as I pulled her by the arm. Splash! Mansui poured hot water into the wooden tub. She had to make a lot of trips with wooden basin to fill the whole tub, which took a long time. When changing the water, she walked carefully to avoid slipping, and when pouring the water into the tub, she had to stand on tiptoe. I took her nearly 2 hours to finish, draining, cleaning, fetching wood, and adding water. I feel bad for Mansui, but that's not me, okay? If I was making the option, the decision, I wouldn't make her doing such thing, or will I? By now, she was sweating a lot. Her cheeks were red, but she was almost
りょ
done.
う様、疲れました。
Okay, Mansui stood in the bathhouse, her eyes tired, like she had no strength left. Her legs shook a bit from all the work, and she was covered in sweat. Seeing her like this, I couldn't stay mad. Even though I helped her get stuff, she worked hard for so long, it's even out.
で
Alright?
は戻ってもいいですか？
Nope, you are all sweaty now. Might as well join me for another round of bathing.
りょう様、本当に一緒に入りたいと思っていたんですか？私をからかうために行ったんじゃないんですか？
I never go back on my word, and if you go back now, besides getting sick, you will smell sweaty. The other lambs might not like that.
汗臭いですか？
You stink. But actually, she didn't. I didn't smell anything. After hearing what I said, Mansui sort of agreed to my idea. She went to the wooden door, grabbed it with my both hands and closed it. Then with her back to me, she reached for the inn's white rope belt, her fingers slipping into the knot. With a quick pull, the belt came undone and her clothes opened up. Okay, I like this game that it doesn't show anything. So you want to think about the scenery, think it in your head. There were soft sounds of her clothes slipping off her shoulder and fell to the ground, revealing her bare body. Just before her clothes fell completely, I couldn't help but look away. But even in the corner of my eyes, I saw her slender figure. Her skin wasn't very fair, more like a reddish color with a hint of pink. She was too thin, her bones showing, with her spine, leg bone, and shoulder blades clearly visible. She was sweaty for all hard work she just done. Sweat drops dotted her spine, shining in the dim light warehouse. The only flash in this last was on her butt. Last time she was all fidgety about talking off her skirt. Why was she so cool with ditching clothes this time? Getting used to it.
りょう様、脱ぎました。一緒に風呂に入るんですか？それとも私は気よけで？
You bat in the tub, so she doesn't want to kill us.
わかりました。
She nodded, feeling the water warm before sweeping into wooden stool and easing into the tub. She was in the tub, so I glanced her away. The tub overflowed, water cascading down like a waterfall. She popped out her head and shoulder, quickly ran her finger through her hair, tucking it behind her. I mean, she's just a kid. She's 14 years old. She looks like a kid because she doesn't have enough food to eat. Then she turned towards me, high-earthing.
熱いやつ。りょう様、さっき私のこと見てなかったんですか？
She was surprised to realize I haven't been looking at her and smiled brightly at me. Saw you, just nothing more fixating on
私
him.
は痩せてると思いますか？
Yeah, way too skinny. Looks kind of unhealthy. He survived this time, yes. She doesn't want to kill us. I'm stripping now, turn around, don't think.
りょう様は体を見られたくないですか？
Actually,
りょう様は私の体を見たんだから、私にも見せてくださいよ。父以外の男の人の裸は見たことないから。興味あります。
Wanna beating quite bold for your age, aren't you?
りょう様の方が恥知らずなのに、どうしても私と一緒に風呂に入るって言うんだから。すいません、私が悪かったです。殴らないでください。
I scolded and started down, wordless, like I was ready to rumble. She got spooked, turned her back, covered her ears, and stayed quiet. I quickly undid my belt, tossed my clothes into a nearby basket, and sank into the pool. But down the water was too shallow. I could only get my lower half wet. My upper body was still out open. To wash up top, I had to scoop water with a wooden ladder and pour it over myself. Good thing I grabbed the ladder for the lamps earlier. It sure came in handy for me.
わあ、りょう様の体って丈夫ですね。
Of course, I exercise every day. As I reached for the ladder, I heard Mansui's voice. She was leaning on the tub, curiously eyeing my body. I found myself getting annoyed for no apparent reasons. The tub sat higher than the pool, so as I lounged in the water, she peered down at me from above. She leaned against the tub, her chin propped on her arms, and looked down at me as if I were a child.
1、2、3、4、5、6、7。
What's with the
りょう
counting?
様の体にある傷を 大きいのが一
All
つ。
from blades being
小
dealing
さ
with
いのが
mountains,
たくさんあっ
bandits,
た。
caravan guards for years, scraps
ど
happen.
うしてそんなにあるんですか？
I'm not much for talk. When things get tough, fish flies. In the end, they left dead while I'm left
リョウ
scarred.
様はたくさん人を殺してきたんですか？
Yes, I
お
have.
よそ何人ですか？
Never counted. Thousands, maybe. Scared now?
怖くない。
Quit fronting.
リョウ様、今日はコウ様がいないみたいだけど、
Went
ど
to
こへ
find
行
a
きました
woman to
か？
have fun with. In the East District, there's this tavern packed with women. Curvy and busty, they put you skinny pups to shame.
じゃあ、どうして一緒に行かなかったのですか？
If I went, who'll watch over you all? Not to mention that I'm not interested in those places.
興味がない。リョウ様は男が好きなんです
Yo,
か？
we are gay! So it turned out our MC is gay because see? Not to mention that I'm not interested in those places. Okay, that's fine. I don't find MC is gay. No wonder she doesn't get attracted with the females and she doesn't even want to deal with another woman. So yeah. You're really asking for it today.
違います。もういません。自分をビンタします。
Bro is gay. Maybe he's actually like Tang. That's why he stick along with Tang.
そういえば、リョウ様にはまだお嫁さんがいないのですか？
I'm not planning to get married.
親は相手を探してくれなかったのですか？
My parents passed away a long time ago, so it's up to me. Getting married requires money and stability. I don't have enough either now, so I'm not getting married. Yeah, I mean, if I can't even handle myself, why drag someone else into it?
そうですね。どんなお嫁さんが欲しいですか？
Oh my god, so many questions, little Mansui asked me so many questions. One who is gentle, wise, and beautiful.
ありきたりな答えですね。
What do you think I should want
わ
then?
からない。男の人の考えなんてわかりません。でも私なら相手は父みたいな人がいいです。働き者で男前でたくましくて。
Yo, are we going to get married with her? This is basically pedophilia, isn't it? No, right? No. Wait, I mean, she's actually old enough. She's actually already adult in this era. But how old is our MC though? Isn't that also pretty common thought?
そうですね。
It's kind of funny, you know, you're sharing a bus with me all exposed. If words get out, good luck finding a husband for yourself.
そうだ。じゃあ、りょう様のお嫁さんになります。
Roy, what the hell? Then I'll marry you! What the fuck?
な
No!
ぜですか？
I don't want someone like you. Even if you grow up 10 years older and become a knockout beauty, I wouldn't marry someone with your personality.
りょう様に嫌われちゃいました。
Masu feigned tears, hiding her face in the wooden tub, though it was clear she wasn't really crying. Her earlier words were just like jokes, aiming to poke fun at me. This last, not a bit of honesty in her. She's a liar! She's a bloody liar! Okay, even MC tell us that this lady is a liar. She's a bloody liar.
りょう様、どうして呂布を恐れるのですか？
Lufu. After a bit more soaking, Mansu suddenly lifted her head at us. When I was afraid of
こ
Lufu.
の間影絵劇を見せたとき、呂布が登場したら、りょう様は見ようともしなかった。
Oh yeah, she doesn't know about our story. I'm not afraid of Lupu. It's just that Shadow Place brings back some bad
どんな
memories.
ことがあったんですか？
In the 6th year of Tianxi, there was massive explosion in the capital. You heard about that?
知りません。
You really are out of the loop. In the 6th year of
りょう様、
Tianxi,
教えてくれませんか？
about 6 years back, the ground shook in the capital, and then these huge fireballs shot up in the sky, darkening everything in an instant. Houses collapses like dominoes, and over 20,000 folk got turned into dust. Rocks, bodies, and birds' corpses fell like rains from the sky. 11 stampeded in panic, crushing the barely conscious below. Blood stains both the skies and the earth.
恐ろ
Yeah,
しい。
it was terrifying.
でも、りょう様、 それが影絵劇と何の関係がありますか？
When the explosion happens, my dad and I were watching Shadow play. Before I could react, the Shadow play's white screen was shattered by the blast, sending us flying. I passed out. When I come to, my father's body was gone, just his arm left, lying nearby. Where was I? I quietly shared the past with Mansui, something I hardly even told anyone else. She listened without a word, her face showing no emotion, like she was picturing it all. Not knowing what was going through her mind after a while of silence, I felt awkward and wished I hadn't spilled my guts to his glass. Forget it. I must be losing it. Why am I talking to you about this? Get on with your bath. Once you're done, you'll be helping me with the laundry.
わかりました。きれいに洗って差し上げます。
I cannot trust her though. There is something in my heart that this girl is a liar. This girl is a liar, but so far, she's actually, except that one time that she's trying to kill us, she doesn't seem to be a bad guy. You're still in good spirits, not sweating your future at all. We were halfway there already, based on what you said before. Once we reach Luyang, you will be eaten by the swine
わか
demon.
っています。だからその日暮らしな生活をしています。
Risking it all for revenge on your sister's killer? Sounds kind of reckless, don't you think? The dead rests easy, while the living struggles to survive. Your sister's gone and your family lost enough. Seeking vengeance will only leave your family with one less person. I mean, it's true. What's the point? I questioned her, and she fell silent for a moment. After a long pause, she finally
あ
spoke.
の、りょう様。私が復讐をやめて、落葉に行かないと言ったら、逃がしてくれますか？
She asked softly, awaiting my answer. Is this important? Is this important though, to make it a decision? Master Liang, if I said I don't want revenge and won't go to Luyang, would you let me go? I think I would let her go, right? There is Tang though. Excited, I will let you go. I mean, we deal with Tang later, right? Yeah, we'll deal with Tang later. I kept quiet, unsure how to answer her. Even as she was telling the truth, I couldn't easily help her escape. Leaving aside whether Tang would agree, just thinking about myself, I won't get paid until the job finished. If I didn't get them to their destinations, I'd angering some boss, lose my cash, and make an enemy. Sacrificing my own gain and taking risks for their sake, all in the name of doing a good deed. It wasn't my style, nor was it the way of the wolf. Mansu's eyes dimmed as she heard my reply, then she looked away without a word. The white mist clouded her expressions, making it hard for me to see. After a moment, I caught her.
それでもいい。私も安心です。
Oh, it's getting dark. Give me a second. I'm going to actually turn on the camera. Moment. I mean, turn on the light. Let's go. Well, at least I can rest easy now. I watched her from afar, mulling over her words. She probably knew I couldn't let her go no matter what. Knew she had to go to Luyang, and was able to avenge her sister's death with peace in mind. Poor thing. How could you take revenge all by yourself? Wonder if she was telling the truth about the swine demon. The way she acts sometimes made me think her words weren't completely false. Yeah, I don't know. Like, so basically, it's half truth. So it's not really lying. So there is some grain of truth. Could her word actually have some truths mixed in? Maybe it wasn't all lies. But why why did she lies on the first place though? Before we hit Luyang, had to find some change to dig into this. Felt like that lamp was hiding something from me. Yinsang and Ton also seems to be hiding something. Too many mystery, annoying. Yeah, we were left in the dark. Hunger and evil. Nothing happened in the bathhouse, right? Last night, after Mansu and I bath, we put on some clothes from the inn. After talking to the lamps relieved themselves in this in-out house, I ushered them back to their room. After locking up, I went up to bed. I had the lamps change back into their washed clothes, and that's where Tang show up in the inn.
りょう、やっぱり早起きだな。
It's past mid-morning, not exactly early. Why the grin? Back from some pun.
ああ、リキのところに新しい娘たちがいた。そのうち一人はとても美しい。東大の聖子だ。ない。でもとにかく昨日のあいつは美しかった。子羊はどこにいるんだ？
Just change clothes. They are resting in the
じゃあ
room.
呼んできてくれ。泉州に行くぞ。
Hey, get out of the room! I yelled to the lamps on the second floor of the
りょう
inn.
さま袴がまだ乾いてなくて冷てえ
No time to fuss. Wear them wet from now. The sign will dry them
は
soon.
い
I heard Onger respond. Shortly after, the lamps entered the inn.
ほう、風呂に入ったのか。見違えるようだぞ。みんな綺麗になったな。
Wait, that's very strange. Why does Tang's being so friendly?
はあ、こんなに美味しい仕事でなけりゃ、俺と亮でお前らを山分けしてたのに、一人で二人を嫁にして山にこもって子作りだ。
Cut it out with that nonsense. Still stuck on women?
亮、冗談の通じないやつだな。ああ、そうだ。お前たちに贈り物がある。
Wait. Why does he even become kind? This guy suddenly become kind overnight? What the hell?
みんな、こっち来い。
Tang yelled out and the lamps clustered around him. He tossed a clothes bundle in the inn wooden table, then untied the knots securing clothes. The cloth unfurled at the corner, revealing shiny red candy balls.
来る途中、道端で飴売りを見つけた。それで買ってきたのさ。ほら、食え。
The lamps looked at each other. They all wanted the candy, but nobody moved.
早く取れ。何ぼーっとしてる。一人一個だ。取らないと片付けるぞ。
She shouted again and pretended to take the candy balls back. Finally, unable to resist, Hong-er grabbed a piece and gave it to her sister before taking one for herself. Mansui and Xinhua took some as well. The lamb started munching on their candy balls. I've had these candy balls once before. Probably sugared up berries, sour and sweet. Loved them as a kid. Yo, it's so strange, right? The bro is a changed man after playing around. Yeah, something happened to him. No wonder the lambs were all over them. Strange to see Tang being so nice. I peeked at him. He was watching the lambs eat, a smile in his eyes. Very strange. This is out of character. I don't trust him. Lightly beating his lips, lost in thought as he watched them. After the lambs gobbled up the candy ball, we hit the road. Our next stop was Sanzhou. It's even bigger than Huanzhou, the busiest place along our journey apart from Luyang. I take us another 4 days to get there from Wenxiang. We bought some supplies and headed into the mountain east of Wenxiang. As soon as we hit the mountain path, we hardly said a word. After the lambs annoyed me with their chatter yesterday, today's silence made me feel off. Tonight, I'm on the first watch. Tang and the lamb were else asleep. Feeling a bit bored, I strolled over the luggage hanging off the saddles and pull out the wooden box with shadow puppets. Exactly. He's such a creep. Maybe he want to do something with the kids. What if he's trying to actually... Oh my god, it's possible. It's possible, Roy. It saved us when we ran into those soldiers last time. Since then, Tang hasn't gripped me about carrying this block along. Oops, I was planning to buy some donkey hides and sticks in Wenxiang, make some puppets to kill time, but rushed too much, totally forgot. Guess I'll grab them in Sanzou, bigger place, more stuff.
りょう様、また木箱を開けていますね。教えましょうか？
Okay, Mansui. As I open up the box Shadowplay, I heard Mansui's soft voice from behind. I look at her. Didn't confirm, didn't deny
じゃ
either.
あ、ほどいてくれますか？
She grinned and nodded toward the rope at her waist. We are getting friendly with Mansui, right? I helped Mansu undo the rope. Then we found a spot near the camp to do our things. I picked up the wooden box and started walking ahead with her following
りょう
behind.
様、
I hadn't gone far when she called out. What is it?
暗くて足を踏み外して山から落ちないように、
Can you
暗くて山から落ちてしまうのが怖いから。
Why is she suddenly acting so friendly toward MC? She looked up, waiting for my answer. You know what? She's a kid. Maybe she's actually scared. Or does she try to kill me? I don't know though. Like, if a little girl asks you to hold her hand, will you hold her hand? Because it's too dark. But this is Mansui we're talking about. Master Liang, I hadn't gone far. Can you hold my hand? It's dark and I'm scared I might fall. You know what? Let's hold her hand. I don't trust myself. You know, I have a feeling if I hold the hand, I might get killed. She might kill me if I hold her hands. Because if I hold her hands, I will be close enough with her and she's actually going to kill me because it might be true that the swine demon exists and she doesn't want to be eaten by a swine demon. As nice, she doesn't have a knife this time, she'll be fine. Remember when we thought that soldier doesn't have a musket? You know what? I hold hand. Okay. She reached out her hand and I start by grabbing her arm. But it was awkward since her arm was so short, so I just held her hand directly. Her hand was small and my palm nearly covered her whole hand. Oh my god. I feel bony with soft skin but little flesh, and the bones underneath were clear. Hey, why didn't you ask me to hold your hand when it was dark
その
before?
時はりょう様が怒るのではないかと心配していたので、言う勇気がなかったんです。
Maybe it's true. Maybe what she said is actually true. So basically she was scared before, but now she's not scared anymore. Right? And now you're not scared?
まだちょっと怖いですが、でも今はりょう様のことがいろいろ分かってきました。器が大きくて
We are not
小さ
that.
いことで怒らない人だって。
We are not that. We are not that. The last knew how to talk. Okay, she doesn't kill us. Okay, right here is good. We walk about 50 steps and found a clip. We sat down here. Mansui opened the wooden box and started sorting through its content. Did your dad teach you shadow
う
play?
ん。まだ家に食料に余裕があった頃は、夜になるとよく教えてくれました。
What was he like?
身長はりょう様と同じくらい。強くて優しくて、村の誰よりも畑仕
Oh
事を
my
頑張っていました。
god! This lady has a dad complex. Maybe she actually think of me like her dad. Like, dad was as tall as you, strong, kind, and hardest working in our village. As tall as you. She's missing her dad.
私にもよくしてくれました。家で一番困っていた時、 娘を売るかどうか尋ねてきた人がいたが、ある時お父さんの隣で寝てたら寝言で私のことを言っていました。私が大きくなったらいい人に嫁いで一生食べるのに困らないでほしいと願っていました。
Your dad seems like a good man, but I'm a bit confused. If you love your dad so much, why leave him behind to seek revenge for your sister? Ah. She's lying. If you love your dad so much, why leave him behind to seek revenge for your sister? Look at her expression.
前にりょう様に言ったよ。姉の幽霊がずっと私に取り付いて夢に出てくる。
She doesn't have
私はどう
sister.
しようもなく彼女の仇を討つしかない。
But she doesn't have sister. She's lying. I glanced at Mansui, wondering if she said about her sister was real or made up. Years of experience gave me gut feeling. Her story about her dad felt genuine, but when it came to her sister, I had my doubts.
りょう
Exactly.
様のお父さんはどんな人だった？
Just as I was doubting her word, she asked me question as well. It's been quite a few years now, I need to think. What sort of a man was my dad? He was actually a decent guy. After hesitating for a moment, I gave my dad that kind of evaluation. My mother died early. She passed away when I was born, and he raised me alone, never remarried. He was a trader for years, hauling goods from Hainan to Hebei. Sometimes even to capital I often tag along. But he had his fault. Two things stand out. He couldn't kick the drinking habit. It often got in the way, and when he was drunk, he'd sometimes lash out at me, left a scar on my arms once when I was young. Second, he was stubborn as a mule. Being a merchant himself, he insisted to follow suit.
りょう様は何がしたかったの？
What is it to you? Stop frying, let's do shadow
わかり
play.
ました。
Mansui nodded and helped me get ready for the shadow play. We lit a fire and set up the white screen. She sat behind, I sit in front. She arranged the puppets and took up the stick to start tonight's show. Mansui did the shadow play, and this time I finally heard the three heroes Battle Boo all the way through. I didn't stop halfway due to fear, even though my heart still raced and I sweat when the puppet's weapon clashed. I didn't look away and saw it through. Afterwards, she taught me for another hour. Seeing her looking tired and worrying that Tang might wake up, I suggest we call it a night. On the way back, we chat a bit.
そうだ、りょう様。お知らせしておきたいことがあります。
Yes?
こう様はあの晩外泊してから様子がおかしいです。
Oh, I'm not the only one that thinking through. Even Mansui telling us. Tang hasn't been the same since he stayed out last night. What do you mean?
明らかに優しくなりました。飴玉をくれたり、怒鳴らなくなったり。
Isn't that a good thing?
いや、いいことではないです。
Oh, this lady noticed. This lady noticed.
りょう様、私怖いよ。こう様が私たちを見る目は
Oh,
前とは
don't
異
tell
なっている
me.
ように感じました。
Don't tell me she's trying to do things to the kids. We're going to call FBI because of tongues. Mansui said it seriously, and I sat there, pondering her words carefully. I'll need to keep a close watch on Tang in this day ahead. Ah, it's true. It's true. After that, we trekked for 3 more days. In the daytime, we kept moving. At night, if Mansui was up, I watched her do shadow play. I start getting the hang of it, setting up the screen, adjusting the fire, moving the shadows around. I even pick up some lines from the three heroes Batalubu, but without instruments or more material. Like donkey hides and stick, I couldn't learn everything until we get to Sanzhou. As Mansui mentioned, Tong has been acting strange since that night he went out. Before, if a lamb needed to go, he would never be happy about it. If he was in a good mood, he might joke about it, calling them pea machines. And if he was in a bad mood, he get mad, not letting them go, and might even act like he was going to hit them. But now, when the lambs need to go, he will agree with a smile and even help Chu-er untie the rope from around her waist. This is very strange. He also became more generous with the lamb's rations. Before we handed out ration, he was always stingy, but now he's becoming very generous, making sure the lambs eat until they are almost full each time. He even often said, "When we get to city of Sanzhou, I'll treat you to a good meal." Okay, definitely off. This really wasn't like him. It was definitely unusual. Even the story already tells us something was wrong. The night before we go to Sanzhou, it was Tang's turn to keep watch. I ate my ration, saw the lambs were sleeping, and figured out it was a good time to have a talk with Tang. Tang? I called him out.
どうした？
He looked at me, puzzled. Let's find a quiet spot to chat. Got something I want to talk about. I talked to Tang seriously, then stood up. Tang got up and followed me. After walking about 30 steps, we reached a spot where the lambs couldn't see us.
なんだよ、りょう。こそこそしやがって。こんな夜中に何の用だ？
Yeah, because I don't trust you. Tang frowned, tilted his head, and asked me with confusion. Tang, I feel like something is off with you these past couple days. Ever since you met Li Yi in Wenxiang, you've been acting different.
はあ？俺は何とも思わんが、どこが変わった？
I just feel like you've been extra nice to these lambs all of a sudden. More caring than before. And I just can't shake the feeling that you are hiding something from me.
お前に隠す？りょう様よ、勘違いしてるんじゃないか？俺はな、一緒にいるうちに気が変わったんだよ。
Bullshit!
優しくなるのは当たり前だ。何かおかしいか？
No, being nice doesn't seem to explain such big change. Tang, we've known each other for over 5 years. If you have anything to hide from me, I can see it now. There is definitely something you are not telling me about. I looked directly at Tang, my eyes sharp. He seemed uneasy and cleared his throat before speaking up. We might need to kill Tang. I don't know, I'm too scared.
わかった。そんなに知りたいなら教えてやろう。実は隠すつもりもない。落葉に着いたら話すつもりだった。力のところでインさんがピンハネしていたことが分かった。報酬はインさんがくれた400両じゃなかった。子羊の受取人は2000両支払った。掟によれば俺たちの取り分は500両。インさんは100両もごまかしやがった。それで力がある人物を紹介してくれた。落葉でそいつに会えばインさんがくすねた金を吐き出させることができるってさ。
Tang started talking and spilled the beans on what he'd hidden from me. Yinsang cheated us out of 100 taels? Was that it? No. Something's still not adding up. When he spoke, he wouldn't look at me in the eyes. He's not like Mansui. He's a very bad liar, as you say it, yes. Plus, Tang, you are still hiding something from me. I might not know much about trading, but even I can tell that 2,000 taels for 4 lambs is too much. Especially during a famine. You can buy a lamb just for a few taels and few dozen at most. Even if our lambs looks better, they can't be that expensive.
知るもんか。今回は特に大金を払ってくれる乗客なんだよ。最初っからそう言って。
That's not what I'm talking about. I lower my voice, interrupting Tang's angrily. Tang, I need to know where these lambs are headed and how they will be treated. You've been keeping something away from me. There's a reason for such a big payout. It can't be for nothing. If you don't come clean about what you've been hiding, when we reach Sanzou, I'll keep the lens and find out myself. I got really mad at Tang and asked him each questions one by one. He looked at me, seeing how serious I was, and bit his lips. Then surprisingly, he started laughing.
りょう、どうしても知りたいようだな。
Yes, I really want to know.
実は別に話せないわけでもない。だがお前のことだ。聞いたらきっと言わなかった俺を責める。あるいはおじけづいて
Tang
この仕
chuckled
事をやめ
oddly
てしまう。
as he spoke to me.
それに知らない方が安全なこともある。
Yeah, sometimes it's better to not knowing than you know, because when you know, you have an extra information and you will feel guilty if you don't do something about it. Or maybe someone actually can do harm to you because they don't want to spill the beans about something.
もしかしたらいつか知ってる俺が殺されて知らないお前が生き残ることがあるかも。それでも知りたいのか？
Yes, I want to know. After that strange laugh, Tang turned serious and stared right at me. Yes, this time I saw a bit of kindness in his eyes. Wait, what? I saw a bit of kindness in his eyes? Even though we're both selfish wolves, we've been traveling together for 5 years. This was his last warning, really hoping I wouldn't find out. But I had to know. Spill it. I hesitated for a moment, then spoke to Tang with seriousness.
仕方ない。じゃあ何もかも話してやる。
Tang chuckled with a mix of mockery and sadness, then he started explaining. This is the truth.
実は俺たちが今回届ける子羊は金持ちの羊が引き取るんじゃなくて、ある大物の寿縁に提供される。
What the fuck? They are going for a birthday feast hosted for some big shot. The swine demon is actually true? What does that mean?
そのままの意味さ。
Just what it sounds like. I didn't quite get it.
落葉城にとある大物がいる。高貴な生まれで異色には一生困らない。先祖代々快楽にふける日々を過ごしている。が数年前、そいつは普通のことに飽きておかしな趣味ができた。毎年誕生日が近づくと貧しい家から子羊を集めて
Mansu is actually telling the
祭
truth!
人にする。
He collected a few lambs from poor folks to use as a land disease.
リキ、インさん、そしてもう一人知らない誰かが参加者に分かれてそいつのために人を
So
集め
there
る。
are three, Liki, Yinsang, and some other people I don't know. Scattered in 3 different areas. Bruh! So we know Liki, we know Lin Sang, and I don't know who is one other.
その3箇所で順番になっている。毎年1箇所がその大物に子羊を売る。順番は通常変わらない。だが今年は特別で、その大物は2回要求した。リキがしばらく前に子羊どもを送ったが、そいつはインさんに追加を要求した。
Why?
リキの話では、そいつは恒例に従わず、もう一度子羊を追加で集めようと考えたらしい。
What the fuck? He messed up the usual way, so he wanted to redo it? The usual way. What is the usual way in eating people?
りょう、お前は本当にバカなのか、バカのふりをしてるのかわからんな。 そいつが500両で子羊を1匹買ってそのまま料理して食うと思うか？そいつは本当に腹が減ってるんじゃない。そいつが人を食らう理由は俺たち貧乏人とは違う。腹を満たすためでも生き延びるためでもなく、ただ満たされない欲望を満たすためでしかない。
But Mansui is telling the truth. Mansui is actually telling the truth all day long. I need to trust her then.
そいつは十数年前に女に飽きて男に走った。10年前には男にも飽きて子羊に。2年もしないうちに子羊を食らうのが趣味になった。
Holy Mother of God. He's actually doing the trial trafficking so he can add the child in? Oh my goodness.
そいつは体重が3、400斤もある。
Yeah, swine demon.
腰は水亀のように太く大蛇に似ている。
Not python, like a swine.
やつは子羊たちをいたぶり支配し、顔をすりつけてすすりな心ゆくまで遊んだら、子羊はそいつに押しつぶされて骨が折れ息が止まりそうになる。そこでそいつは生きたまま娘たちを食らう。
Oh
ま
my
るで
god.
大蛇が獲物を食らうように。
Mansui is actually telling the truth and I was actually doubting her.
リキの話では送り届けた子羊の中に反抗的なのがいたという。その大物はその子羊に怒ってでも今回は心配ない。追加の口なしは見た目もいいし物分かりも良くて喋れない。その大物はこういうのが好みだと思うぜ。
Tang told me the details. Hearing what he said, I couldn't help but tighten my fists. I thought being a bandit for years would toughen me up, but just imagining what Tang described me made me feel sick. Who is that big shot really? I asked, my voice trembling, as I inquire about the identity of that big shot.
りょう、お前に知らせるつもりはなかったが、ここまで話したらお前も後には引けんぞ。その大物はやることも大蛇のようだが、本人はさらに空まで届く大蛇に似ている。そいつは昔はもう少しで竜になるところだった。形状の皇帝ですら
Heavenly
そい
python.
つの顔を立てておじ上と呼ぶほどにな。
I knew what python signifies, and I knew who the person was that even in the emperor must address as uncle. If it's in Liu Yang, then the identity of that big shot was even clearer. He is a truly towering figure, someone I absolutely cannot afford to offend.
りょう、今回の仕事をここでやめようと思うなよ。何もかも聞いたお前は最後までやらなければならない。この仕事を途中でやめたら金はもらえないどころか命すらなくなる。その大物は役立たずを生かしてはおかないからな。だからお前自身のためにも俺と一緒にこの件を引き受けた方がいい。最後の道のりで俺たちは二人とも子羊たちに優しくしてやる。死んで幽霊になったあいつらはあのまま家にいても飢え死にしていた。せめて最後はいい思いをさせて早く送り届けてやろう。
The swine demon is real. So Mansui actually was telling us the truth. But the sister thing is very weird. But it's actually true that there was actually a swine demon.
でも俺も考えた。子羊たちが明るい顔でその大物に会ったら報酬がさらに増える。
Tang
So
joked with
much,
me,
huh?
but I stayed silent, caught in the storm of feeling. A weight pressed down on my chest, lingering. Shock, anger, disappointment, worry, and confusion churned inside me. The swine demon eats people. Her sister was eaten. She seeks revenge for her sister. No, I knew. Mansu told me stories once I doubted, but most of them were truth. Yo, I feel bad treating Mansui. Okay, Mansu's side of the story again. Grandma was buried, her body resting in the backyard. The day after her death, my brother and I each had a bowl of thin porridge before Mom put us to bed. After making sure we were asleep, Mom quietly called out to Dad. Dad gently lifted Grandma's body from the bed and wrapped around her in straw mat. They carefully carried Grandma out of the house, and Mom closed the door behind them as they left. Then, right when I was dozing off, I heard the sounds of shovels digging in the backyard. The next morning, I asked where Grandma went, and Dad told me, Grandma is in the backyard. I went to check in the backyard. There was a small pile of dirt with some of Grandma's favorite old item placed beside. That was likely where Grandma was buried.
やっぱりいけない気がする。
何がいけないの？
母さんをこんな風に葬るのはいけない。後で町に行って喪服と棺桶を買ってくる。最初からやり直すんだ。せめて父さんと一緒に埋葬してやらないと。
I mean, why do you even worried about burying your mom? Because you have another dire situation, no? They are in famine and stuff.
いくらかかるの？どこにそんなお金があるの？
食料と交換しよう。計算してみたが、それほど高くはない。半月分の食料だ。
Okay.
半月分の食料？それは私たちの半月分の命綱なのよ。ダメ。
多くはないだろう。考えれば考えるほどおかしい。死んだ母さんをそのまま埋めるわけにはいかん。豪華にはできないが、せめて棺桶でも買って安らかに眠ってもらおう。
I mean, it's true, but I cannot really blame the mother.
どんなに貧しくても私たちには住む家がある。これでは母さんが浮かばれない。食料なら後でどうにかする。
Dad said to Mom, his voice gradually growing all louder. Not long after, the room was filled with Mom's sobbing, Dad's angry shouts, and my younger brother crying. I stood frozen in the backyard, staring at the small mounds of dirt where Grandma was buried, my hand resting on the top of it. I didn't dare to return to the house, afraid to confront my parents who were arguing. It didn't take long for my parents to stop talking about the burial. At noon, a tax official came. This tax official brought 2 official soldiers, and they kicked our door open the second they got here.
食料を出せ。米ハットの食料を受け取りに来た。
Yo, reading this, I really hate the government now because of this. Look at this.
食料があるなら出せ。なければ銀子を納めてもらう。
They don't even give a shit. This family is already starving, and they still want to tax them super high. Are you kidding me? The tax official shouted loudly, while the other 2 soldiers start rummaging through our house.
お役人様、家をお間違えでは。正月前にお渡ししたはずですが。
隣の住人が逃げたのだ。知らんのか？
え？神家のことですか？逃げたなんて知りませんが。
神家でも王家でもいい。奴らが逃げたことは知っておかねばならん。
Oh my goodness. I hate this guy. This is the official, right?
朝廷の法律によれば、食料を納める者がいなければ、お前からいただくことになっておる。
Oh my goodness.
お役人様、そんな法があるなんて初めて知りました。
知るのが遅い。すべてはお上の命令だ。私も仕事をしてるだけだ。
Exactly.
勝手を申すな。
Exactly, Roy. Look at this. I can't. Like, when I read this through, I was like, what the fuck? Oh my god, the government is so shit.
お役人様、食料は本当にないんです。一昨年は日照り、去年も日照り、2年続けて一滴も雨が降らず、作物はとうに枯れて、
You fucking
うちに
kidding
は
me.
2人の子供もいます。毎日ろくに食べることもできず、どこで食料を借りるか考えているところで。
お頭、食料がありました。米びつの中に一隻は隠してあります。
Oh my god.
はっと取り出せ。
Holy shit. They only have 10 and you need to take 8. At least take 2. Oh my goodness. I hate this guy. I really want to rip him apart, you know?
おやめください、おやめください。
Oh my goodness, Grievance.
お役人様、どうかお助けを。これは我々の生きる糧なんです。では3人に1頭ずつ差し上げますから、それでご勘弁を。
Oh my goodness.
たわけ、子供を飢え死にさせたくないから多めに見て2頭の米は残してやるのだ。
Holy shit.
騒ぐな。騒げば残りも持っていく。
I heard that fleeting's voice and the sounds of the official soldiers shoving him around. They drew their swords, rummaged through our belongings, packed the grind we rely on to survive into bags, then took those bags away. Mom and Dad were beaten by them. My younger brother kept crying. In the end, they still took the grain away. I stayed in the backyard, crouched on the ground, and covered my ears since I was too afraid to listen. Boy, that's exactly how I feel. Exactly. Oh my goodness.
おのれ盗賊め、ろくな死に方しないぞ。
After the tax officials and the official soldier left, Dad slammed his fist against the wall, cursing bitterly in
さっきは
frustration.
棺桶を買うって言ってたけど、4人家族で2トの米じゃ1ヶ月も生きられない。祭司、水司、私、あなた、私たち家族全員が餓死するわ。
泣くな。言っただろう。どうにかする。
何をどうするの？裏庭のお宝を売るの？
いや、母さんが死ぬ前に家宝は何があっても売ってはいけないと言っていた。
じゃあどうするの？
前に考えたことがある。どうにもならなくなったら、父さんの形見のあれで影絵劇を演じるんだ。
Oh, okay. That's how Mansu actually learned shadow play. That sigh, his hand resting on the edge of the bed as he spoke to Mom.
本気なの？劇団員は最底辺の卑しい職業よ。
It's so
お
funny,
父
right?
さんはやっと抜け出したのに、
Look at this.
あなたがまた演じたら。
Performers are the lowest of the low out of all professions. In our society, performers are not the lowest of the lows. Some of the performers are regarded as a very high class and high regard. It's actually interesting how the people's opinion about things shifted.
今の状況ではやるしかない。どんなに卑しくても影絵劇は一つの技術だ。その技術で食いつなぐことができるのなら演じるしかない。
I mean, his father is actually really nice. He doesn't give a shit whether it's low class or not low class. Anything that keeps them alive. Actually, this guy is very good guy. Maybe he will die along the way. I can see he's dead. Maybe someone actually killed him.
でもどこで？
Maybe the swine demon actually killed him. Where are you going to
隣
perform?
町の艦船だ。
Oh, is it Gangguan? So it's not Luyang. Okay.
知り合いに見られたらどうするの？
こんな世の中だ。見られたって構わんさ。
Wait, they are from
生きていく
Gangguan?
ことが何より大切だ。
I thought the Mansu said they are for Luyang. She's lying again. What the
荷
hell?
物をまとめて今日中に隣町へ行く。何日かしたらたっぷり食料を持ってくるからな。
As Dad spoke, he began rummaging through the wooden chest under the bed. Inside the wooden box were the items Grandpa had left him for performing shadow plays.
お父さん、私も行く。
I heard Dad packing, so I hurried into the room, eager to join him. A couple years back, Dad taught me a bit of drumming and shadow manipulating, giving me a rough idea of how to perform.
水事影演劇は卑しい身分のすることだ。来てはならん。
そうよ。女の子がやる気になるなんて。噂が広
Oh
まった
my
ら
goodness,
お
the
嫁に行け
mother's,
なくなっちゃうわ。
the mother's still thinking about she won't be able to get married. Look, dude, you are actually hungry. Get the fuck out of here. Don't think about marriage first. Dad and Mom both forbade me for... It's so weird though. Why do they have the translation Dad and Mom? It's so weird. Normally you say it Mom and Dad, right? Mom and Dad both forbade me for going after hearing that I wanted to perform shadow play.
噂は噂よ。お父さんも言ったでしょ。今は生きていくことが何より大切。私も力になりたいの。それに、お父さん忘れた？前に言ったわ。影絵劇をうまく演じるには手が4本必要だって。それに、私も家電の技を覚えたいし。
I muttered to my parents, my eyes bleeding.
いいだろう。手に職をつけておくのもいいことだ。
Dad sighed reluctantly, seemingly agreeing to let me accompany him. Dad and I walk out the door, heading town on foot. He carried the wooden box in one hand and held mine in the other as we made our way to neighboring town. Maybe that's why Mansui asked us earlier to hold our hand with the shadow play, because she misses her dad. The town next to our village is called Gangwon. Despite its name means sweet springs, just like our village, it has been affected by the drought. No spring to be seen. However, Dad mentioned that during the major disaster, life in the city is better than in the town, and life in the town is better than in the village. With more people around, there is mutual support, preventing as many deaths or escapes. We arrived at Gangwon town in the evening. As soon as we got to town, Dad found an open space by the street. He lit a bonfire and rummaged through the wooden box. Before long, he set up the white screen for shadow play.
寄ってらっしゃい。見てらっしゃい。影演劇だよ。
She's about to starve to death and she's thinking about marriage. Exactly, Roy. Crazy, right?
武将虎を撃つ。三英傑呂布と戦う。彦星と織姫。同戦100問で開演だよ。ここで見とかないとよそでは見られないよ。
Dad called out of the streets, attracting passerby to watch the show. As he threaded the shadow puppets into bamboo stick, he continued his speech to attract passerbys. Dad's voice was a little quiet and a bit strained. Despite the bustling crowd, no one stopped to watch. I was bored to death, so I started chatting with Dad.
お父さん、何の人形に竹串を通してるの？
呂布だよ。誰かが三英傑呂布と戦うを見たいと言ったらすぐに演じて待たせなくていいようにな。
じゃあ私が手伝ってあげる。
よし。じゃあ張飛を頼む。
これが張飛？関羽はどれ？
これだ。
Dad worked on Lu Bu while he pointed out Guan Yu for me.
寄ってらっしゃい。見てらっしゃい。影演劇だよ。同戦100問で開演だよ。
Dad continued threading the bamboo sticks while calling out loudly. Half an hour passed, but still no one paid any money. However, a few people did gather around. 3 beggarly-looking uncles and 2 kids, who look even younger than me, formed a circle around us. They curiously watched Dad and our setup, but didn't say a
お
word.
父さん、どうして誰もお金をくれないの？
I leaned in close to Dad's ears and asked him softly.
この町の人は通のようだな。
Dad whispered in my ear.
ツー？
ああ、影演劇は完全な闇夜の方が綺麗なんだ。今は日が沈んだばかりで、通は誰も見ない。
Dad has finished threading all the puppets into the bamboo stick and was waiting for the first paying audience. He gave a faint smile, appearing quite relaxed, as if he didn't care how the business was doing. Another hour passed. It was gradually getting dark out. The sky became quite dark, making us brighter by comparisons. Still, no one paid, but there were more spectators around us. We were surrounded by 4 beggars, 3 kids, an old grandma and grandpa who even got their own stools. But still, nobody paid any money. And Dad's expression grew darker. He wasn't looking relaxed anymore. He seems rather grim.
お父さん、誰もお金をくれないみたい。人が増えてきたわ。先に劇を見せる？
そうしよう。
Dad nodded in agreement, offering a simple response to my suggestions. It seems like he was ready to perform. He intended to showcase the shadow play to the people around and then persuade them to play later. Dad handed me the drum and crouched down to organize things. With squinting eyes, he adjusted the frame supporting the widescreen. The firelight cast a glow in the widescreens, tinting Dad's face with a reddish hue. Bits of sweat forming on his temple trickled down his cheeks and gathered at his chin. He closed his eyes, then opened them again. He took a deep breath, glanced at the onlooker, and finally began to sing.
身にまといしは早戦わん呂布宝船今日こそ落とすその総首
Zhang Fei entered the stage on a horse, wielding the serpent spear in his hand. He darted from one side to the other, charging back and forth behind the widescreen. I was captivated.
随時
Dad called out to me, softly giving me a nod. It was then that I realized he was urging me to beat the drum. Damn, look at that! She's actually pretty good with the drum. I quickly picked up the drum and started beating it in lively.
馬を出して増陣入れていざいざ勝負せよ尋常に
The audience cheers and applaud enthusiastically. Seemingly encouraged by the warm applause, Dad sang with even more fervor. To keep up with Dad's rhythms, I also worked even harder on the drumming. The drum beats echoed, blending seamlessly with the surrounding applause and providing a rhythmic accompaniment to Dad's singing.
三英傑呂布と戦うをご覧いただきありがとうございましたお気に召しましたら動線がなければ食料でも構いません何でもいただきますありがとう
After the performance, Dad stepped forward in the front of the widescreen and bowed down to the audience. Meanwhile, he was heading over the wooden box to the audience, hoping someone in the crowd would toss in coins or two. However, the audience exchanged looks for a few seconds before dispersing in different directions. No one gave us any food, let alone money. All that remained was scattered sunflower fools, the dying embers of bonfire, and the mocking waves of laughter drifting from afar. Oh my goodness, so
畜生
sad.
貧乏人どもめ劇を見たのに一銭も払わないとは
That's angry muttered a curse as he set wooden box down beside him. After performing for so long, he's not only failed to earn any money or food, but also drove away the audience.
町全体が災害に見舞われ金や食料がなければ
As
生
that
き
said,
ていけ
there
な
were
い
signs and elderly men approached from outside.
早く家に帰るんじゃ寒くなるぞ
He sighed and then
娘
walked
に
past the
風邪をひ
place
かせち
something
ゃなら
down to the island open and picked the wooden ball. It was perfectly intact ear of corn. Okay, he gave corn. Each kernel gleamed like yellow jewels under the moonlight. Oh, this guy is very kind. We got a corn. After that, Dad stopped performing shadow play. He packed the item to wooden box one by one, and I helped him tidy up. Unable to find a place to sleep, we decided to spend the night in rundown temples in the town. Inside the temple was hay spread out with three beggars sleeping on the side and us on the other. These 3 beggars had also watched the show earlier. When they saw Dad arrive, they whispered and chuckled mockingly from a distance. Dad didn't say anything. He held me in his arm without saying a word as we huddled on the side of the
お
temple.
父さん、どうしてみんなお金をくれないの？
I leaned against my dad and asked him with my hands grabbing his rough tunic.
どうせ100問が高すぎるのかな。50問ならくれる人がいるかな。
This game really give me depression. Crazy. I clenched his rough tunic tightly.
私は高いと思う。素晴らしい劇だけど、高いから誰も見てくれないのよ。
Oh my goodness.
お父さん、どうして何も言わないの？
I slightly raised my voice.
もういい
Oh. Dad yelled angrily before turning around and gripping my shoulder fiercely as if he was going to crush it. His shouts made my body tremble violently. Coupled with the strength of his grips, I felt both pain and fear. I stared at Dad with my eyes wide open. It was my first time seeing Dad this mad. It was as if he transformed into a different person who shared no resemblance with him whatsoever. He was petty, irritable, and volatile, completely devoid of the gentle demeanor he had shown me years ago when he gave me the sweet potato to eat. What was wrong with him? I felt aggravated. I felt aggrieved and wanted to cry. My nose tingled and my tears swirled in my eyes for a bit before they began to fall uncontrollably. Seeing me cry, Dad suddenly panicked. The light in his eyes flickered and his mouth twitched a few times. He then reached over and hugged me tightly, pulling me into his arm.
スイチすまない。お父さんが悪かった。
Oh my god, this story gave me depression. On the straw mat, Dad held me in his arm and apologized to me with a crying tone tinged with self-blame. I held into Dad and cried uncontrollably. It was as if my emotion found an outlet, and all the pent-up grievance and fears turned into tears. I didn't blame Dad. I knew it was hard for him. It had been too hard for him. That's why he was like this. Dad slept for a bit with me in his arm. I didn't sleep for long because I began asking Dad some questions out of
お父
concern.
さん、私、死ぬのかな？
死ぬもんか。死なせはしない。
じゃあ、お父さんは死ぬの？
人はいつか死ぬもんだ。お父さんはまだ死なない。水児と財児を育てなければならないからな。
Oh my goodness.
お前たちが大きくなったらようやく死ねるんだ。
ダメ。お父さんを死なせはしない。お父さんは死んじゃいけない。
わかった。死なない。死なないから。
Her father is going to die, isn't it? I think something happened and we will find out later that her father is dying or something, some shit with the swine demon or whatever. I started crying again while hugging my dad. This time I was the one who hugged him tighter. He also responded by embracing me back, gently patting my back to comfort me. I had no idea when I fell asleep as well. I just remember lying in Dad's arms and it felt really warm. The next day, we woke up in Rundown Temple. In the early morning, we headed the only pawn shop in Gangwon town. Dad sold the wooden box Grandpa left him, exchanging it for 500 copper coins. Then he made several trips to household in town, exchanging coin from food. At noon, Dad held my hand, carrying a basket of food as we headed in direction at home. On our way back, I stole glance at Dad. He looked very tired, with a pale face and mixtures of uneven white hair among his dark one. Since when he was like this? He got old all of a sudden. And he stopped smiling too. So if you stop smiling, you get old. Don't stop smiling. Okay, that's very sad. That is super sad. So the swine demon story is true, right? Okay. Okay. I will play for a little bit just for this chapter.
どうしたんだよ、りょう。なんで何も言わないんだ？ビビったんだな。やめるつもりか？
In the wood, Tang spilled it all. After his smirk, waiting on my answer, I slammed him against a tree, arm to his neck. You son of a bitch. You didn't tell me those lambs were meant for lamb dishes? You said this job was about feeding the lambs and sending them off to rich folks as daughters. All fucking bullshit. I yelled at Tang, muscle tense, my face twisted in anger.
おい、なんでブチギレちまってんだよ。俺もこんな仕事だとは知らなかった。力の話を聞いて初めて知ったんだ。でも一人500両だ。俺たちじゃなくても他の誰かがやるさ。
I continued to glare angrily at Tang, my eyes blazing with fury.
りょう、よく考えろ。俺たちは長年一緒にやってきてずいぶん手を汚してきた。お前に命を奪われた者は80人はくだらないだろう。確かにお前は女や子供を殺したことはない。だが男を殺せば家は大黒柱を失い、いずれ一家は全滅することになる。
Oh my god! If a man dies while away from home, the family loses its support. Eventually, the whole family will die as well. That's true. That's true. Yeah, you're not really actually like, even though you have an honor and then say you don't want to kill women and kids, but if you kill the one source of giving them food and protection, you might as well kill them.
善人ぶってんじゃねえ。直接手にかけずともどれだけの子羊を死なせてきたことか。今回の仕事もお前が直接子羊を殺すんじゃない。何の違いがあるんだ？
Is it actually wrong? I don't know. Is it actually it's considered sinful, right? Even though directly, indirectly, it's still sins. It's still something wrong. It's still evil. I stay quiet. His word hit me hard. My determination wavered, and my arm pressing against him is.
ちくしゃー！りょう、あの年の形状大爆発を思い出せ！善人も悪人も男も女もまとめて吹き飛んだ！
He shoved me hard, breaking free from my grip.
天道とはそもそも無情なもの。善人が100歳まで長生きするとは限らん。悪人が報いを受けるとも限らん。世の中の全ては思い通りにならない。神のみぞ知るってことさ。
Even though people doesn't have a say, we can actually do something about it, right? Like not doing something evil?
俺たちが善人でも悪人でも死ぬときは死ぬ。だったら自分のために生きてもいいだろう。もっといい暮らしをしてもいいだろう。何が悪い？
He tilted up his clothes, teeth clenched, and spoke to me with frustration. I lowered my head and pondered his word, reminding me.
りょう、よく考えるがいい。この仕事をすれば、栄よ映画はともかく、こんな大物とつながることができる。もしお上に捕まっても誰も俺たちに手を出せなくなる。そいつには俺たちが必要だからな。俺たちじゃなくてもこの仕事は他の誰かがやる。誰も逆らうことはできない。奴に歯向かえば結末はただ一つ、死あるのみ。
With that, Tang spat and headed back toward camp. I stood there. Memories of blood rained from the 6th year of Tianxi flooding my mind. After the explosions, everything I cherished became meaningless. Wealth, emotion, bonds, even principle. The words I never said to my father, The one he never spoke to me. My dreams, his dreams, our conflict, all lost their significance. I've been living in emptiness like a walking corpse. I should have known better. Nothing matters except staying alive. But if I never knew these lambs, their fate wouldn't concern me in the slightest. Now that I do, can I really send them to the swine demon? Oh my god. I didn't give Tang a clear answer and returned to the camp alone afterwards. Back at the camp, I should have slept, but I couldn't. Watching the lamb's number thought raced in my mind. Those sisters were from poor background. The older one looked after the younger, who despite her age was quite sensible. Then there is Xinghua. Her father was originally a lofty official, but was exiled to the border due to political changes causing the family to fall. Despite it all, she's smart and reasonable, quite mature. And Mansui, the smartest, knowing it all from the start, seeking vengeance for her sister. She wasn't scared to die, and she's sharp, always aimed to go after that big shot. No, to take down that swine demon for revenge. I was not too hopeful, but I had to admit, if he can't keep that blade hidden and catch him off guard, that swine demon might just meet his end, her end. After all, when she came meet me with that blade, she was swift and decisive. A regular person might have been caught off guard. Can she pull it off? If she messed up, what's the swine demon going to do to her? And if she pulls it off, what chaos will that stir up in Luyang? And then, will I be implicated for sending her there? I almost dozed off with unanswered questions. Slept about 2 hours, then Tang woke me up to switch shift. We kept watch a bit longer, then hit the road again the next day. We got to Sanzhou about 4 hours. Before reaching the gate, we untied the ropes from the lamb's waist. Tang reminded me, rhythm turns, not to cause any trouble. At the gate, the guard checks our pass from Yinsan. After a few questions about the lambs, we got to Sanzhou. The streets of Sanzhou were wide and bustling, with a sense of prosperity unlike Guangzhou and Wenxiang. Perhaps due to our eastward journey, there were fewer refugees, giving the streets an illusion of peace and prosperity. There were vendors, traveling merchants, and even performing monkeys. A monkey trainer with a turban guided 3 monkeys through the series of tricks, prompting spectators to drop silvers into his copper bowl. After a stroll, Tang led us to a green inn located in a secluded part of the city. This inn was similar to the one in Guangzhou and Wenxiang, situated in a remote area of the city. This inn only catered to special guests like us on a mission.
何日も歩いてやっと千秋城に着いた。この道を見ろ。広い。この広さはまさに大都市だな。京城にいたことがある両様には千秋城など大したことないか。
I stayed silent. He smirked and I brushed it off.
これから宿屋に行く。今日は休んでたっぷり飲み食いしよう。今日は気分がいいから飯は俺のおごりだ。好きなものを食うがいい。後で料理人に作らせて宿屋でたらふく食うぞ。
He led the way, speaking to the lambs following behind. He tried to cheer up the lambs, but they remained somber. Maybe the lambs sensed the tension between us. None of them seemed cheerful.
みんな何が食いたいんだ。さあいえ遠慮するな。随時言ってみろ。
肉まん。
何？はっきり言え。
父様、妹は肉まんが食べて。
そうか。わかった。
野菜まんでお願い。漬物がいい。なければ白菜で。
注文が多いな。探してみるがいい。
魚が食べたいです。
ねえ、肉まん、野菜まん、魚。じゃあそれを買おう。おっと、口なしは喋れなかったな。
Anything's fine for me.
よし、 じゃあお前と口なしで買ってきてくれんか。道中の食料も補給しといてくれ。銀子は俺が渡す。
No need, I'll handle the money. But why me and her?
あいつは何が食いたいか喋れない。一緒に行って食いたいものを買ってやれ。
She doesn't know. He doesn't know. Mansui can talk.
それにたくさん買ったら荷物持ちが必要だろ。
With a grin, he urged me and Mansui to hurry up and buy rations, insisting we come back to him for money. I know exactly why he wanted Mansui and me to go to shopping together. When we arrived at the city, it was customary to replenish our supply. Usually, Tang took care of this task. He was more eloquent, sophisticated, and skilled at bargaining. However, this time, he specifically instructed me to buy groceries, probably due to his lack of trust in me. My failure to give a clear response last night likely contributed to his suspicion. He didn't want me staying at the inn anymore, fearing what I might say to the four lambs if left alone with them. He even worried I might set them free. The reason he was fine with Mansui coming with me was that he thought she was mute and less likely to cause trouble. Alright, you stay at the inn. Tang, so naive. You gave us the smartest girl. Keep an eye on the other lambs, I'll take her shopping. I glanced at Tang, then at Mansui. Then I grabbed the silver and the bundle and headed out with Mansui. Sanzhou streets were livelier than Huanzhou. They were filled with shops, including taverns, treehouse, pawn shops, and workshops. People browsed past each other as they walked. Looks like the monkey performer from earlier finished his act and went back with his monkey.
様
After a few hundred steps from the inn, Mansui silenced until then suddenly addressed me. Glancing at her, it seemed she had no intention of pretending to be mute anymore.
何を買いますか？
Market grabbing rations, peas and buns. Tang already got their order, so I'm set. How about you? Anything specific you want?
別に。りょう様は自分の好き。あ、そういえば食べたいものが一つある。さつまいもがあったら買っといてくれませんか？
Sweet potato, what's that?
りょう様はさつまいもを知らないですか？
Honestly, never heard of it. Didn't come across it even in the
じゃあ
capital.
教えてあげます。さつまいもは舶来の貴重な品で、食べると長生きすることができます。
Who told
お
you
父
that?
さん。
We moved forward for a bit, and I scanned for the market location in Sanzhou. Time was ticking. It was afternoon, and most shops were shutting down. We had to hurry, otherwise we might end up
りょう
empty-handed.
様、手をつないでくれませんか？
As I thought about finding the market, Master spoke up again. Why hold hands? I was
りょう
puzzled.
様は気づいてないだろうけど、ずっと誰かに見られてる。りょう様は私より十何歳も年上に見えるから、親子みたいに手をつながなかったら
Mansui
疑われ
glanced
てし
around
まうかもしれ
cautiously
ま
and
せん。
whispered to me. Yeah, I will hold her hand. Okay. I considered her points. Then I reached for her hands, leading the way to the
りょう
market.
様、あそこを見て、まんじゅう屋があります。
We feel like maybe she will think us like her father then. We just started when she called out. Boss, do you have any
は
buns?
い、具入りと具なしどちらにしますか？
Phil, do you have pickled vegetable
あります
buns?
よ。一つ5問です。いくつ必要ですか？
Buns seems more expensive than before. I remember there used to be 2 or 3 coins each, but now they are 5. Inflation. Must be because all the disaster everywhere pushing up the price. Grain of meat. 3 pork buns and 3 pickled vegetable buns, please. I thought for a moment and said to the
お客
boss,
さん、8個入りの方がお得ですよ。1カゴ32問です。
Okay, let's buy 2 more. Let's Mansui, what kind do you
私も
want?
肉まんで。
Alright, 5 pork buns and 3 pickled vegetable buns. Here's
Hey.
the money.
まんじゅう1カゴですね。少々お待ちを。
I handed over 32 coins and he went fetch the bun. While Mansui and I waited, we chatted a bit
りょ
longer.
う様がケイジョンにいた頃は、肉まん食べたことありますか？
Sure did. Lots of bun shop in the
じゃ
capital.
あ、校庭にあったことありますか？
Never did. My family's been in trade for generations, never had the chance to see the
形
emperor.
状は先週と比べてどんな感じですか？
She talks a lot for her age. Wider streets, more people, otherwise pretty similar.
本当に差がないですか？きっと違うところがあるはずですよ。
Not much difference. Once you've been around, you will see everywhere pretty much the same. I feigned sophistication to Mansur, and soon after I noticed the bun shop owner handing over a basket of
お客さ
buns.
んどうぞ。このカゴはおまけしときます。いつもは一問いただいてますが、こちらの可愛いお嬢さんにはタダで差し上げます。い
Oh,
ありがとうございます。
えいえ、いい子だね。可愛いお嬢さんだ。
I grabbed the basket and caught Mansui giving me a smart look. That last was quiet to show off. She's pretty smart. After buying the buns, we asked the boss for the market address and found it shortly after. Unfortunately, we were late. Many stores had already closed. After a quick search, we found a fish and stand still open. We bought very alive black carp and grabbed some cabbage and radish from nearby store. Despite looking around, we didn't find any stores selling sweet potatoes. No sweet potatoes around.
もともと珍しいものですから。お父さんも苦労して手に入れたので。
Should we head back?
待って亮様。買い忘れたものがあります。影絵劇の道具。
Ah, yes. Without Mansu's reminder, I almost forgot to buy the missing item from the wooden stock earlier. To have a complete shadow play show, we need more than just drums. We also require some donkey hide and wooden stick to draw additional puppets. Within an hour, we got all what we need. The wooden stick and donkey hide were easy to find in carpentry and leather shop. The drums were not everyday goods, but lucky there was a pawn shop in the market. The owner said they mostly dealt in lower end stuff, and once something has won, it was done for good. We found a theater troupe drums there. After a quick haggle, I paid 200 coins for the set.
亮様、この楽器が200文って高いと思いませんか？
It's alright. Things are unusually pricey at pawn shop. This much isn't bad.
劇団はどうして楽器を売っちゃったんだろう。
Times have been tough lately. Many people can't even afford food, let alone going to the theater. With fewer people attending shows, the theater troupe declined to call it
劇
quits.
団を辞めた人はどうするんですか？
You've got me there. I don't have any friends in theater troupe to ask. Oh, didn't you mention your family used to be in theater troupe before becoming regular folk? How
知らないです。おじいちゃんの代から領民になった。そうだ、亮様。聞きたい質屋には何回品物を入れたことがありましたか？
never keep counts, probably dozen of
全
times.
部お金に換えるためですか？
Always for money. Back then, when food was scarce, I often tried nothing. Starting out with tongues, I did few deals and even took care of a few sheep. Initially, I kept some of their belongings, but later, when time got through, I found them off to pay for food. Those transactions were pretty much final, and whatever was found was already long gone. I didn't believe those sheep spirits would come back for revenge. But I still fear holding into those items might attract attention from enemies one day. Oh my goodness. After we got our stuff from the pawn shop, Mansui carried the grocery and I held the drums. We headed back to the inn. I thought she wouldn't speak me again on the way, but as we passed Sanzu Golden Pagoda, she surprised me by striking up in a conversation.
亮様、昨日の夜は皇様と喧嘩しましたか？
Mansui whispered, asking me, "Last night? How did she know? Were you pretending to sleep? Were you following us too?" I stopped and glared at her. After I spoke, I realized something wasn't adding up. She couldn't have been following us. I tied her up last night. She must have been feigning sleep. Probably squinted, pretending to be asleep while watching Tang and me. She pieced together that we had argued from our reaction before and after our conversation.
私、昨日は眠れなかったので、亮様が怒らないでください。知りたいだけです。
Let's head
昨日の
back.
夜は一体何を話しましたか？
I took her hand and tried to
わかり
pull her
ません。
on.
亮様と皇様はどっちの方が上なの？
We're both equal, just partners. I handled the physical stuff better. He's sharper with words, so we make a good
じゃ
team.
あ仲はいいですか？義兄弟のちぎりを結んでいました。
Just regular
じゃあ
friends.
両様は彼の言うことを聞く必要はないと思います。
Damn, this girl is
まる
very
で彼の
smooth
方が
talk.
上だった前にお風呂で形状の爆発の両様はその事件の後で身の定めは神が決めていることであって両様自分で選択することができるのよ。
Oh my goodness, you can make your own choice. Mansu lifted her head, her big eyes staring straight at me, glamming with radiance. I felt uneasy and puzzled by her stare. Why did she mean by choice? Was she hinting at something? We are nearly at the inn, just act like a little mute again. I avoided her eyes, took her hand and headed back to the inn. On the way back, I stayed silent. She did too. Mansu and I backed it in the inn. Right as we entered, Tang grabbed the groceries, bought and handed them to the cook. After about 2 hours, nearing dusk, the waiter ushered us to the room upstairs. Now I want to eat. Now I feel like eating. The cook had finished preparing the food, and it was served on the table. Stir-fried cabbage, steamed crab, 5 pork buns, 3 pickled vegetables, and a big bowl of radish soup. It had been a while since I had seen spread, probably even longer for the lamps. Tang untied them, and they gathered around the table, drooling over the
俺も両様も約束を守る人間だ。まんじゅう、魚、お前らが欲しいものは何でもある。さあ、早く食え。
Tang plopped into the chairs by the wooden table, rolled up his sleeves, and dug into food with his chopsticks. He swiftly grabbed a chunk of fish and gobbled it down. Damn, my throat hurt. I would like to continue reading this story, but at the same time I can't, because I need to actually speak. And yeah, unfortunately I'm not able to speak. Okay, I think we are going to finish here. So basically we're just about to eat and I'm hungry myself. God damn it, the game. The game makes me hungry. I mean, after all, the title is Angry Land, but it's pretty good. It makes me question a lot of things. Yeah. Anyway,